Welcome into Paul Catalina's Top 5, brought to you by Texas Beef House. Today, we're going through the most disappointing seasons. I bet you can all guess who number 1 is. I won't yell and I won't cry. Number 5, Michigan. Look, they finished strong, beating Ohio State and then Alabama in the bowl game, but I bet you that made everybody think, like, what if they just had a quarterback all year long? If they had gone in the transfer portal, I don't know, like, I might have tried to get Kyle McCord just to spite Ohio State, but they didn't do that. And look, they have a new coaching staff, and there's a lot of, there's a lot of things going on at Michigan, but their misassessment of that position led them to the disappointing season that they had. If they had somebody who could walk and chew gum, who knows where they might have been defending their national championship crown. Still, they had a pass for a year, won the national title, Harbaugh left, but still a disappointing season given the fact you did nothing to address the quarterback position in the offseason. They have now added Mikey Keene, and of course Bryce Underwood's coming, so I expect the Michigan Wolverines to be better on offense next year, but let's see what Sharon Moore can do in year 2 before we say back in contention for the Big Ten title. Number 4, Ole Miss. Finished just outside the playoff. This all had a very, if not now, when feeling for Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss. And what happened? Yeah, you lost a couple games in the SEC, but you lost a game to 4-8 Kentucky. That's why you're not in the playoff. A playoff team doesn't lose to 4-8 teams. That was the difference between you and everyone else, Lane. That and that alone. And you guys spent a lot of money on that roster. And a lot of that's now walking out the door. Jackson Dart, gone. Walter Nolan, gone. Princey Uman-Milan, gone. Trey Harris, gone. Like, that's a lot, not to mention some of the other guys that are out the door. Now, will Ole Miss reload and kind of be the same again? Yes, but I'm stopping short of putting that team in the playoff until they actually make the playoff. Number 3, Utah. A lot of us thought going in, this is going to be Kyle Whittingham's last year. They're in a position, in fact, picked to win the Big 12. They were very, very far away from that. Dear God, were they ever super, super far away from that because they bet it all on Cam Rising, who wasn't healthy. Do I think they bounce back this year? Yeah, I do. Kyle Whittingham's back because he's not going out like that, and Devin Dampier's there at quarterback. They've been good at everything else except keeping a quarterback healthy. I think it'll be really interesting. New OC in there for the Utes as well. I think it'll be really interesting to see them this year in the Big 12. They could be one of the comeback teams. From Utah to another disappointing Big 12 team in UCF. They looked like they'd started to make strides at the end of last year. Second year in the Big 12, they go get KJ Jefferson. Just didn't work out. Fell flat on its face. Everything was so bad, Gus Malzahn decided he didn't want to be a head coach anymore and left. They went back in time and got Scott Frost, and we'll see how that works out for them. But part of the reason that they went back in time to the feel-good times was this was such a disappointing year, especially with R.J. Harvey and Penny Boone and Kobe Hudson and some of the players they had in offense that they thought were going to help run the league. That did not happen for the Knights. Now they're back to the drawing board, back in time with Scott Frost, seeing how that works out. And number 1, the place where Gus Malzahn went to go and help, FSU. Dear God, FSU. A 13-0 regular season last year turns into a 2-10 regular season this year. Why? Poor roster management and bad decisions from the athletic department all the way down every step along the way. The outside noise got to them in ways I I probably can't even describe. They were not able to block it out. They let the College Football Playoff Committee defeat them 11 times. They let them defeat them in the bowl game and then 10 times this year. That's what happened. They made bad decisions. They made bad financial decisions. Bad all the way around. Now, new coordinators, new staff, new quarterback in Thomas Castellanos, a lot of new players, and some new hope there in Tallahassee. But it is not the best way in the world to follow that up. And we are all, this young man right there, just sitting there, mouth agape, wondering how in the blue F does this happen? Sorry, I said I wouldn't yell. But by far the most disappointing team. Just missed it, Oklahoma State. Because I don't know how good they were supposed to be in the first place. I think they overrated themselves from the beginning and did not improve themselves in the spots they needed to improve themselves, particularly on defense and, the guy who takes the snaps. But they were just outside this list. And I've piled on Mike Gundy enough in these top fives. I didn't feel the need to do it again. Plus, who's more disappointing than these jamokes from Tallahassee right here? I love you guys. I love you. But you're killing us. Look at this. Look at this poor kid. Look at him. That's a kid who loved and was not loved back by his team. I'll tell you that right now. Anyway, rant over. Show over. Smokey, say bye-bye.